All right, we're trying to call Myron. Listen, jeez. Mr. Gaines.
Yo, what up, bro? What up? Let me open up this shit real quick.
Myron, listen, I know you probably haven't been a fan of the Flagrant 2 podcast in a while. I do like these guys. These guys are, I think that they are fun, comedic guys. And, man, I'm not going to lie, man. I was kind of wondering what was going to happen. And, bro, it appears that, my boy Akash is just not, he's just not coming back, which I think that's a mistake.
Well, I think I'll tell you what I think happened, bro. I think here I'm turning my camera on right now. My bad. Okay, you got me?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we got you.
Nah, I'll tell you what I think happened, bro. I think Andrew gave him the boot, bro. If I'm keeping it with you.
Nah, Andrew strikes me as a loyal guy. He strikes me as a loyal guy. You're a loyal guy too.
He got you fooled, bro. He's not loyal at all, bro.
You don't.
That the biggest thing in the industry, bro.
Now, what I think happened is that this saga really, and I hope no creator gets to this point where for you to be prosperous and to appease the people who have supported your career and made you successful means you have to go against what you have done within. You got to go against his household. I think people wanted him to go against his wife, and I think he's choosing his wife.
Which was a foolish move because she literally ruined his career, in my opinion. Like,
well, we can't say that. He just did Radio City Music Hall, right? Like, I do think he should. The podcast is an amazing engine. If I'm him, I'm not giving that up. But also, I don't think. What nationality is it or ethnicity? Do you know?
He's Indian.
Okay. I think family and marriage holds a significant distinction where he's not going to be, for him to come back to the podcast is also allowing his co-host, for things to get back to normal, to make his wife the butt of the jokes. Like, she's now the new, I don't know, Aisha Curry or, whatever woman that is kind of like super entitled or kind of getting, and I don't think he would allow that. So I think he made a decision. Nah, you know what? Listen, if I'm going to be a distraction, because I'm not going to take the jokes, I'm getting out of here.
Look, man, I get it that they're your friends and everything else like that, but look, Andrew Schulz is the biggest snake in show business. He will say and do whatever he needs to do to move himself ahead.
Okay.
All right? I caught on to this right away. And let me tell you a story, right? Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and did a show, right? And he tried to, shame us for the whole, oh, you guys said these things about black people, blah, 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 all this other stuff, right? When him and Akash have all made jokes about black people, right? Trying to like virtue signal, whatever. And there's some liberals out of New York. After we did the show, after we did the show, he said, oh, do you want us to put it out, bro? You guys look kind of bad, blah, blah. I was like, no, we didn't look bad, bro. We don't mind. Like, put it out. They cut out a part where, who's the dumb black dude that works with them?
You're locked in with Waking Up TV.
I forget his name. Whatever, he's irrelevant. But the dude with the dreads or whatever, the dude that paints his fingernails, the soy boy.
Alex. His name is Alex.
Okay. He said some bullshit about like, oh, you teach guys to manipulate women. And then I like completely like obliterate him. I said, no, we teach guys how to not get manipulated by women so they understand female nature, whatever, right? Because he tried to say like game is like manipulated women or whatever. Andrew cut that entire part out of the fucking podcast, by the way. Cut that whole part out because I made him look like an idiot, right? Because he was there trying to like press me about the whole racist thing. Meanwhile, that dude dates, I think he's married to like a white chick, by the way. But that's a whole other thing. Big hypocrite. After the interview dropped, I said, yo, before we left, I said, Andrew, can we put clips on our channel? He said, yeah, no problem. I was like, cool. So I put him in touch with like my clip guy, or made a chat. We posted one of the clips. Bro, he calls my fucking clip guy and he sends like a fucking scathing ass message, pissed as fuck. Like I saw a whole other side of him. Mad as hell. What are you guys doing posting this clip? Blah, blah, blah. All this other stuff. You guys can't do it. I was like, yo, we got permission from you.
Who?
Andrew Schulz.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yo, niggas don't know. Like, this dude's a fucking fraud. He's the biggest snake ever. He puts out one side. And let me tell you how I know this. Let me tell you how I know this. I dealt with people like him when I was on a job. Okay, I knew a lot of agents, a lot of criminals that operated the way he did, where they put one face to you, right, or one face out there publicly, and then they put another face when the rubber meets the road, right? They will say and do what they need to do to move ahead. So I know a lot of successful agents that were that way that I worked with, and then I also knew a lot of criminals that were that way when I would interview them, where they would do what they need to do, right? They'll look like the biggest boss ever, but they'd be snitching all the time. So I noticed that immediately when I was like dealing with him. I was like, okay, this guy will say and do whatever he needs to do to get ahead in life, and that's fine. Like a lot of successful people are like that. But don't fucking sit here and pretend to be, the moral authority or to be authentic or to be a good guy or whatever. Like he's a very slimy individual.
Let me ask you this question.
You didn't know that. Look at how shocked you are by what I told you about that story. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so this is what I do think I know. And by the way, I do love. I rock heavily with Akash and also Schulz. They've been nice to me. Here's the thing, though.
Hey man, you can cheat, man.
No, hold on. What I do think about like Andrew is that I think Andrew's a really good guy to the people he already likes. So like from when I met him, I could tell he already fucked with me. Like I remember doing a Brilliant Idiots episode.
Because you're famous, bro.
Well, I think he kind of watched certain stuff I said, and he was kind of cool with like my opinion. So like when I did the show,
he can gain from you. That's why he can gain from you.
I always notice. I'm like he's always. Yo, I did a show with him and Charlamagne, and I felt like him and me were like more connected than even me and Charlamagne, and I knew Charlamagne more. I think he just never liked you guys, like which is interesting because that's part of podcasting too. You might bring on somebody you disagree with, but it's easy to throw somebody to the wolves when you don't like them, right? So I think at a point they were like, you know what, we're gonna kind of expose these guys a little bit, and I think that's where maybe the energy in that podcast was a bit. It felt like you took it personal because I'll ask this off top. Well, I'm asking like 5 questions, right? Do you actually feel responsible, or do you feel some remorse? I feel like everything went down. You made one clip, and it's never been the same. Do you have any remorse? Do you feel responsible? I get it. They put out an episode. Maybe they talked a little bit of shit. But do you think it was worth, everything you're seeing now?
Honestly, bro, here's the thing. The reason why I went so hard at Akash and Andrew Schulz to this day, right, and I'm going to keep going at them because they're bitch-ass niggas. The reason why is because they brought us on there to try to virtue signal about, like, us saying we don't date black women and making jokes, right? We were doing exactly what they do. When we said we don't, we're not night riders, blah, blah. It was all jokes. And they brought us in trying to shame us. And I'm like, wait, aren't you guys comedians? Isn't your podcast flagrant? So it was like a gross, level of hypocrisy. And then they brought this other stupid nigga on with the glasses, with the fingernails. Remember, this was before he was popular. He was a no-name back then, right? He was a no-name back then. And he's over here saying this bullshit. And it's like, okay, so y'all brought us on to girls about this shit. And it's funny because he got hit with a lot of the racist bullshit too. And here's the thing. He has to do that because he does a show with bitch-ass Charlamagne, who's a progressive. Right? I don't care. I admit this shit. I'm openly racist. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I make fun of blacks. I make fun of Indians. Hoodie in stores, by the way, eat the Jeet. Which, by the way, we yeeted that Akash nigga, Jeet, get out of here. Right? So I'm racist towards everybody. Like, I make my jokes, and these guys, like, oh, bro, what the hell's going on? How is it that I am more based than the comedians? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I thought they, I think they thought it was a easy. Hey, I'll let's go back in time.
Sure, go ahead.
I remember when I had you guys on, well, I've always done you guys' show, and you guys have done my podcast whenever. And remember we did Brittany Renner around, but you guys were so new to the conversation of maybe podcasts outside of the manosphere realm. And I remember, I think Fresh was like, hey, Ak, well, could you help us get on to some of these platforms? I think I could say this now. I remember Vlad was, married to.
He said hell no.
Yeah, Vlad was married to a black woman. His wife said no.
Oh.
His wife said, fuck no. Happy wife, happy life. You didn't know this? So I
didn't know. Because here's the thing with Vlad. I knew after the Kevin Samuels interview.
Vlad only fucks black girls. Straight up. Only
okay.
He is devout.
Okay.
So
well, he's Jewish too. So that's like another thing that he's gonna have an issue with me. Because like
No. He'll rock with the Jewish stuff, but his wife,
bro.
When I pitched him, I'm telling you what he told me. He said, "Yo, listen."
Okay.
He says my wife wouldn't be into it, and that's one of those things where for him that's like a hard line which he would draw. And I remember like. Well, because I was trying to help Fresh, like kind of like throw you guys alley-oops to get on other platforms, and a lot of people were kind of like just saying no. And I remember Fresh at one point said, "Yo, you should like try to help us like get on Flagrant." And I had a relationship with them, and I don't even think I got a chance. So I think Fresh got that by himself. But they
hit us up. They hit up Fresh because after the whole backlash with the we don't dabble in the dark, they hit us up to do something. I think they hit Fresh.
But I was shocked, and I was just like. The mere fact that this wasn't like a facilitated thing, this is probably the slam dunk. It's not a hit piece, but it's like, hey, our fan base, we're going to affirm everything they think of us, make these guys look ridiculous. And for those guys, maybe they feel they could like convert some of our fans. It's one of those like, it's like a toxic trade. And, once I seen that,
a lot of people think like we had both at the time. I remember vividly. We're both right around 400, 500K subscribers. Both of us were growing at the same rate back then.
So I looked at that. I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. And it turned into like so much like hate though. Why did you?
I mean, we went in there good faith, bro. We went in there good faith, trying to have a conversation with them, and then they come in with all the racist stuff. And then this guy Akash was just like super rude the whole time, like very dismissive. Very like being.
Was he rude or was he telling jokes?
No, bro, he didn't tell any jokes at all. Watch the interview back, bro. Pull it. You can pull it up right now. We can react to it real time, and you'll see. Like he was being super rude, super dismissive, being very condescending, right? And we're just trying to have a good faith conversation, bro. We were there super respectful, and anyone that watched the interview back now will tell you like, yo, why are these guys being assholes? Like, and then here's the thing with Andrew, right? Because I knew what it was because I did it before when I was on a job. He was trying to play the good cop. Akash was purposely being an asshole.
Oh.
And the other dude, Alex, in the back was chiming in with his stupid comments as well, right? So they were trying to get a rise out of us or get us to apologize, and we didn't. And then what ended up happening was we talked about how like modern dating has changed. We talked about how guys need to move differently with women, et cetera, et cetera. And it's funny because there's a clip in there, and I posted it. Andrew Schulz literally says in there, yo, well, if we get proven wrong 10 years from now, whatever, we'll have y'all back, we'll apologize, blah, blah. And I played that shit after this shit happened because everything we said was true. It was true. Because both of them had just gotten married at the time. Both of them had, like, Akash said, like, apparently that was his first wife. He talked about that shit. And he said and Akash was saying, we're lames for not dating our race. That's what he tried to say. And then Andrew was like, I just got married, blah, blah.
Let me ask you a question, though. So... Yeah. In hindsight with everything, and I know, again, I remember you posted some clips. I don't know if you put the sound effects, but that shit was gold. Perhaps his girl was doing a little bit of a comedy. Did people below that situation? Because here's the thing, too. I often kind of relate what they might have going on to what's that ugly nigga, the ugly football player with the big... He looks like Alien versus Predator. Everybody know who I'm talking about. Chat. All right, everybody tell me his name.
Chat's gonna probably... Yeah, I'm looking at your chat right now, too.
Chat. Who's that ugly nigga with the big nose? Travis Hunter. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody was telling him, yo, you shouldn't be... But I could tell, like, people were unhappy for him. He was happy as shit. Whatever... So I guess, like, and by the way, if you guys don't know Myron, like, obviously we bring him on a lot of times. I guess in most recent times for, like, criminal breakdowns because he is a former law enforcement agent, worked with the feds. But what he does also is he does male self-improvement. He talks about relationship. He's pretty much like, one of the top guys that's doing it. Let me ask you this question. So don't you believe for the Travis Hunters and the Akash Singhs of the world, where the world sees a problem with their relationship, but they seem happy as fuck. That's what. So I've always said it's different when the guy is like moping and you could tell like he feels stuck, and you're trying to like give him that pat on the back, like, yo, bro, you're better than this. You could leave. Yo, you're a decently attractive guy. You make some good money. You'll get another girl. That's one thing. However, when you got like a dude who maybe he's getting abused, but he's loving this shit. Like, he's like, yes, like he's salivating. How do you deal with that? Because I think that's Travis Hunter. I've told people leave him alone.
Yeah, because they don't know what they're getting into. So, like, the thing is like, well, a lot of guys, their mistake is, like, they're not aware of female nature and they're not properly prepared to deal with what's going to come. And this is the problem with whores. Whores, I always
She's not a whore,
like,
though.
No, his girl was. His girl.
No, his girl wasn't a whore. No, hold on.
Oh, bro, she was a huge 304, bro.
No.
Was a huge 304.
Okay,
Yeah, bro,
okay. Now we can debate, Myron. We'll debate a little bit. She's not a whore, but I do think that how he described her sexually in her demeanor was much more. He described her as some type of saint. No, she seems like a regular girl, but I don't think she fucked a bunch of dudes, honestly. I really don't. But here's the thing. When you soapbox, you better have the perfect one on your arm.
Bro, there's like lots of video and images of her doing some 304 shit. And again, like I said before, the biggest fear, right? Well, the biggest thing that like guys like mess up with is they're not able to identify a girl that's like not girlfriend material. They wipe that girl up and then they get put in a precarious situation later on because hoes will ruin your life. We all know this.
That's
Promiscuous
true.
Women are terrible people. They will ruin your life if you don't know what you're doing. And as a guy that has money and status, she's obviously selling purity. She's selling, oh, I'm a good girl, blah, blah. Meanwhile, she's really a 304. So he doesn't know what he's getting into. It's like he's going into the slaughterhouse and he doesn't know he's about to get into the slaughterhouse. So that's why he was so happy because he's like, oh my God, I got a bad chick or whatever. Probably the hottest girl he's ever been with, right? He's an ugly nigga. It is what it is. But what ends up happening is like he doesn't realize, he doesn't know his actual value, that he could go get a girl that's not a 304 because he just came into the status, just came into his money. So he doesn't know his own worth. I've always said a woman's biggest weapon is you not understanding your worth. That's like her biggest superpower is you not understanding your superpowers, which is you can replace her way faster than she can replace you if you got your shit together. And a lot of guys that just come into some money or some status don't learn that until it's too late.
Okay, so, and I kind of still want to have this debate, and I know you have some clips.
Sure.
I don't think so. Here's the thing: I don't think his girl is a whore. I think that what she is what modern women are. They speak in the language of whores. They put out so much information, it becomes embarrassing. When a woman is talking about what's been put in her butthole or whatever, that's usually conversation that traditional women wouldn't have on a podcast. We got to blame Call Her Daddy. This is where I think their issue came in. She was trying to be the brown girl Call Her Daddy. Put it like this. You could have a good girl that, let's say she has a 4 body count. You're the 4th person. If she goes on there and be like, yeah, the freakiest thing I ever done was my second boyfriend. He fucked me behind the fucking Burger King dumpster. Like, the whole audience gonna be like, this is a fucking whore. She's not a whore. It's just that the traditional outlook of women like women used to be like cats, right? Women are cats, dudes are dogs. You never see when the cats are doing certain behavior. These days, women brag about it. Oh, no, I did this. Hey, this guy didn't want to go down. Like, when you hear women talk about that, it doesn't mean they're having a free-for-all in sex. It just means that they have adopted to the culture, that they're allowing conversation about their. Let me tell you this. Women used to never discuss their sex. I watch you guys' show. Like, women don't like discuss their body count. Most women. Whores do. Right? Or women who are so indoctrinated into the culture, they think it's something to even brag about having, 10 guys fucked me. Usually women would be like, no, it's none of your business.
Those are the professional 304s, but like regular chicks will have high body counts and they'll still hide it because women understand deep down, even the biggest feminists, that their body count is going to directly affect their ability to find a higher status man for some type of real security. So like even girls that like are super promiscuous or super feminist, they'll still not admit their body count because they know that it'll limit their ability to find a guy. So with this chick, like my thing is this. He could have got something better. And then even women, like, and I get what you're saying, look, just because a girl puts herself out in a certain way doesn't necessarily mean she's always promiscuous. I get that. I would argue that's still problematic. Even if she doesn't.
I agree.
Because I would argue she doesn't even have to have a high body count. Let's say a girl has 3 body count, but she behaves like a 304 on the internet for attention. That's terrible. And that's still not, she's still not worth it.
It goes to mindset. I agree with you.
And it goes to mindset, and then also like your reputation. Let's assume everything is correct. Let's assume Akasha's girl was really a virgin when she met him. Let's assume that all the stories that she said were just tall tales to get attention, get some clicks, etc. It doesn't matter. The damage is done. Even if she is a virgin, the fact that she purported herself to be in that fashion has destroyed his reputation and his credibility, because women don't understand this. This is why women need to shut the fuck up, and I really do think we need to take their rights away. And some people in your chat might get mad at me saying that. Let me tell you why I think we need to take some women's rights away. Women don't understand that when you are a 304 and you behave in a certain way, you could destroy your man's reputation, and then that's going to affect your ability to also eat as well. And if women don't lose status, right, by getting cheated on. Men do. You look at Kobe Bryant's wife. I always use her as an example. To this day, she's still respected for staying 10 toes down when that bitch made that allegation against him, right? She still gets respected to this day. Meanwhile, you look at Will Smith, legacy tarnished from Jada Pinkett Smith. So a woman can absolutely destroy a man's legacy, but a man is never going to destroy a woman's legacy because nobody cares about a woman's legacy. Nobody cares. So like, if a guy cheats on a girl, she's not going to lose no status. So this is why women need to really shut the fuck up and be quiet at all times, especially if they're with a guy of some kind of status.
Hey, let me ask you this question. So, I think, we could possibly agree to disagree, or maybe we think there's a nuance, maybe opinion of the is she a whore thing. I don't think she's a whore necessarily, but.
And I appreciate you giving another perspective, by the way, because this is good. Like, it's important to get these ideas challenged, so I appreciate this.
No, of course. So I don't necessarily think she's a whore, but I definitely think this. And I think a lot of men, and I've been there, and I always say, when I talk about women.
She might not be a whore. That's the scary part. Akasha's wife might not be a whore.
Yeah, no. But here's the
but the damage is done.
Okay,
see what I mean?
But it goes into this next realm. And if anyone heard me speak about this, I constantly kept using this one thing. And I keep saying, because there's this guy, like, I was watching all the, channels talk about it. I like when I hear you talk about it, certain people, but there's these other channels. I don't even know these guys, but they covered it a lot. And I was just like, I've never seen these guys, like they're talking textbook shit, but I don't know how they really deal with stuff. So I use myself, and I say, when I'm giving my opinion, I'm not giving my opinion like I'm some perfect person. You guys know my life. You know what I've been through, and I could try to adjust to certain stuff. I'll throw myself in the mix as I ask you this question. How do you deal with a woman, right? Maybe or maybe not, she's a whore or not, right? Let's say maybe, she might say some stuff that's problematic, or she may be really a whore. But what it turns into is this bigger issue. How does a man deal with a woman that's embarrassing him? I've been there. A woman's embarrassing me. And Akash, I think, is there. Because that's what she did. I don't think she's a whore, but she embarrassed him to the point that the men who listen to him now look at him differently. And his comedy and his podcasting, anytime I think he was in a pickle. He couldn't talk about relationships no more. That's one of the reasons he probably had to leave. His girl embarrassed him so much. As soon as he would talk about somebody else's relationship, I guarantee in the comment section, you're going to be like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. How do you deal with the woman who maybe she's not fucking everybody, but she's actively embarrassing you? Maybe, and we could get into if she knows she's doing it or she's doing it unwittingly. What's your opinion?
So it depends. So if she's embarrassing him by little broing him or whatever, that can be handled. You just tell her shut the fuck up one time.
What do you mean little broing?
If she's constantly undermining you, or she's trying to correct you or whatever, because women do this dumb shit sometimes, and they'll do it publicly, right? That could be corrected just hey, shut the fuck up. Yeah, the tabloids might get mad. Oh, that's misogynistic, whatever. But you kind of assert right there, hey, shut the hell up. Now, when she's embarrassing you by being a 304, bro, that's really bad, especially depending on the niche that you're in. But even if you're a soy boy liberal progressive, right? Or you're in comedy, right? A field that doesn't necessarily matter so much with your personal relationship, whatever, you still lose a lot of credibility because with men, right? We care about the person's background, right? For example, when I come on your show, even though there's a bunch of niggas that get mad in the chat, oh, Myron's a racist, blah, blah, they shut the fuck up when I talk about true crime because I know what I'm talking about. So they understand, even though they might not like me, they might not like what I say about, black women every now and then or Jews or whatever. They'll respect the fact that okay, though I don't like this guy, I will listen to what he has to say about this topic because he understands this topic because he did it for a while. Or if I talk about foreign policy, okay, this guy knows this, so I'll listen to it, even though I hate this nigga. Women, right? Men are able to understand this hierarchy dominance-based hierarchies, and we're able to understand merit. Women don't really understand that shit. So with men, if you go ahead and you lose credibility, especially like with your woman, something like that, a lot of guys aren't going to take you seriously because it's like, bro, you don't even know got your shit together. We're not going to take you seriously because men care a lot about results and if someone's authentic.
I got something for you. So
yeah,
and I think this is a cultural thing, and I've seen her do this, right? Okay, I've watched you a lot. Like you've said, hey, listen, you won't take care of like some random bitch you're fucking, but like, you know, if you got a main girl or whatever, you'll maybe pay her rent or whatever, but it got to be a main girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, a lot of people, like a lot of men would be like, yeah, that's some dope shit. Imagine if your main girl, because this is what Akash Wipes was doing, right? Imagine if the main girl was publicly saying, yeah, Myron, he paid my bills. Girls, y'all need a guy to pay your bill. And she's basically then bragging about the things you do for her financially to fit in the culture that I call it shade room culture, where it's all about my guy buys me this, he spoils me, I'm the princess. But now your woman is being loud and boisterous to the world saying, yo, he gives me a credit card, all I do is swipe. And again, maybe she's completely obedient when she's around you, but publicly she's trying to get her shit off by saying, yo, he gave me a credit card, I swipe, he pays all my bills, and if you girls ain't getting that, you need to step it up. What would you do?
Hey, yo, you're locked in.
I would tell her to shut the fuck up. And I would tell her you can only brag like that with me saying it. Like if I tell you, hey, tell them how I treat you, and then she could talk her shit. But other than that, like, shut up. Because I truly do believe, bro, the more women talk, the more it can hurt you as a man. Because women, like, are dumb. They don't think before they speak a lot of times. And a lot of times when they say stuff, it can just only hurt you, or people are going to try to construe in a way that can hurt you. So I'm a firm believer that women are supposed to be seen and not be heard. And I think there's a reason why this has been a famous saying for so long, right? There's a famous saying in Spanish. They say it down here in Miami. The quieter you are, the prettier you are. Somebody probably could say it in the chat. The quieter you are, the prettier you are. And then you have the other quote, like, women are to be seen and not be heard. Like, I'm a firm believer that women need to shut the hell up in most situations because they talk too much and they say dumb shit. So
if your girl said, hey, listen, well, Myron, you're doing a new show. I'm getting a podcast. I'm getting a podcast with my girl. And these days, people want to hear the woman's perspective. By the way, that is a lucrative type of thing.
I laugh at her and I say, nobody wants to hear the woman's perspective. You guys are retarded. Your points are not invalid. Bro, female podcasts are trash. Let's be honest, bro. Yo. Let's be honest. Nobody listens to some female opinions. Nobody cares about female opinions. These women are stupid. Even call her daddy. That's like their top shit, and that's brain rot content. Nobody gives a fuck about female opinions. Bro, there's a reason why you're the number one nigga in hip-hop. And all the dudes that are in top hip-hop commentators are men. All the top podcasters are men. Because men have to actually grind and be able to be charismatic, charming, be able to command an audience, be able to know what they're talking about. They have to have some structure of information. Like you right now, you have a music, catalog in your mind, right? That probably rivals like a computer damn near. But you're good at what you do, and that's why you're able to comment on it, and you can talk about it with your eyes closed. Women can't do that shit. Because women are not held to the same level of expectation of excellency like we are. Like, they can just have some tits and be fine. This is why female streamers do so bad. They suck. Every single female streamer, fucking garbage, trash. Nobody wants to watch that shit. They're stupid.
Wait, hey, by the way, a little side note, we'll kind of jump onto this topic. Drew, you could make this another clip if you want. Hey, I seen you cover it. What did you think about the I was going to react to that, so it's been this huge thing. I call it mainstream streamer beef and stuff. So a streamer, Bruce Dropamoff, has called out your rage and claiming that he's using the little sis method to get pussy. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. First of all, I rock with rage, but the little sis methods is actually a thing. That's the thing. Yo, that is definitely a thing that people use to kind of inch in there with the chick. You know what's so funny? Yo, chat, I'm going to keep it a bean with you. By the way, I love Rage. I'm not saying Rage is doing this, but I do want to say the little sis method is a thing. You've never seen these nigga little sis the whore. Like the whore that's fucking everything. Yeah. They're only little sis the good girl. The one that you got to stay in the background for until she's ready to give it up. The whore is never little sis. Nobody's little sis in Samaya. Right? Samaya's not getting little sis. It's the one that you're like, oh yeah, she's hard to fuck. she's little sis for now.
Yeah.
Right
No,
now,
bro.
she little sis. Yo, nobody little sis the hoe. Yo,
Yeah.
while everybody's fucking a hoe, you don't see nobody show up like, nah, this little sis right here. Y'all keep fucking her, but this is my little sis. Fuck no. They little sis the girl that they're like, you know what? It's like Tiger and Kylie. Let me redshirt the pussy. That's what he's doing. That's what they do. Now, I do not think my man, your rage is doing that. I hope not. I don't think
that,
so.
bro.
Huh?
You see, that's where me and you disagree. He's 100% doing that, bro.
No. Why do you think he's doing that?
Let me tell you, bro. Okay, let's go through this. Me and you both know this, right? And I love that you're playing. Just so you guys know in my chat, Ak is playing devil's advocate.
I'm
bro.
not. No. Hold on.
Yeah,
Your rage. I feel like he gets bitches. Hold on. I would think the person who would do that is a down bad lame nigga. He's not lame. He's not. To me, he's not lame.
Sure, he can get bitches. I'm not saying that he can't get girls, bro. You got some status, you got some clout. You could obviously get bitches. But let's be honest here. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. There's different sexual strategies, right? You could go being an asshole one day. You could go being a nice guy another day. You could go maybe being I'm gonna go through the friend zone with one day if you have the sexual market value to do it. Yo, let's just keep it 1,000, bro. He's late 20s. She's 19. Yo, what is there to talk about?
Bruce
is 100% true.
Birds and the bees.
Yo, 19-year-old women are retarded, bro. Like 25-year-old women are retarded. Can you let alone talking to a 19-year-old? Like these bitches are stupid. And here's the other thing too. Let's be honest.
Wait, hold on. And I gotta put up a little retort for my man.
Benefit collabing with her.
No.
So what other benefit is there?
Cap. I'll put up a little. Hey, Rage, I got you. I'm not gonna let them put this on you. I got you, gang. Yo, so here's the thing. When it comes to first of all, like. I went viral. They were trying to get me in beef because I said, I don't know. I seen this girl tap dancing, like this light-skinned girl. I thought she was Lotto's sister. I had no idea who she was. Nigga, I'm in my 30s, my nigga. I don't know what a 19-year-old girl is doing on fucking Twitch or whatever the fuck she's doing. Everybody was like, oh, you're hating. So then I quickly realized she has like this, like, almost like, you remember Sky Jackson? Like this Disney Channel, like, innocent girl type of audience. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think Rage is trying to, like, fuck her. Maybe he's attracted to her. I don't know. But I think they all see value in collabing with her. When I see Bend It Down with her, there's value there. You get to be in, listen, every streamer, I'm going to be honest with you, Myron, maybe not you, maybe not me. All of these streamers, the reason why they do most collabs, they're chasing the youngest and the newest audience to refresh themselves. Shorty has a young fan base that, like, respectfully, I think Bend It Down. Huh?
Who's her fan base?
A bunch of, like, 17-year-old girls, I think.
No, bro, it's a bunch of niggas, bro.
No, like, no. Honestly, I really,
women don't watch streamers, bro. Women don't. That's a male thing. Niggas watch streamers, bro. It's niggas that watch her. And here's the thing: it's their fans that go to her. She's not really. They're not getting much benefit. This is what I'm telling you. He's trying to smack, bro. Look, we all know women are useless as friends. Okay, let's be honest here. There's no such thing as platonic friendships with women. Women are fucking useless.
I don't think they're friends. I think it's a streamer play. It's a fake streamer play. Like, okay, you don't do fake streamer relationships or not relationships, but like you know, friendships just for collabs. They do it in that world, and she is like the new it thing for the innocent young girls.
But there's no benefit for them to do that shit because her fan base is their fan base. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's no benefit.
You sure?
Outside of trying to smash. Yeah, bro. Nobody. Women don't watch streamers. Yo, I'm telling you, bro.
No. She blew up on TikTok, so she got a girl audience.
The streamer audience is men.
No, but she blew up on TikTok because
they got short attention spans. Women are not watching streamers. Women are watching TikToks and short form content because they're stupid. Men are the ones that are watching long form content. So anyone that's watching,
hey, chat, could we get a poll? Could we get a poll? I thought she had like a huge younger female fan base, which I thought Ben Don wants to tap into that. He doesn't want to, bro. Like. Yo, if you're trying to fuck this girl, why are you going to be on a bunch of streams with her? Like, just try to hang out with her outside the stream.
Waking up TV.
Yeah, but again, because here's the thing, too. Because they have her on their stream, that's also going to be like, oh, you got a girl on stream. Like, that's going to also, like, here's the thing. They get a little bit of benefit from it. I'm not saying they're not getting no benefit. But she's getting way more benefit going on with them than they're getting with her. Because here's the thing. They could get a similar benefit with just a regular bitch that nobody knows. That's what I'm trying to say. You could get a similar effect by having regular girls that aren't streamers on your shit when you're a male streamer. Because women are interchangeable. They're not special. However, with her being on there, she's getting a huge benefit because she's taking their market share. She's taking their market share, and she's not talented. This is why female streamers always have to collab with male streamers, because women don't watch streams. Men watch streams, and men are the ones that end up like supporting these chicks when they actually do watch streams, if they even do that shit. So,
hey,
that's
chat,
what it is, bro.
Hey, chat, could y'all open up a poll? I need to know who's kind of like, and by the way, I want y'all to be honest here, right? Like, you know what I mean? Somebody said I'm naive. No, listen, I'm not saying that maybe some people don't.
They're giving the benefit of the doubt. This is what I think. I think if she offered him the pussy,
of course he would.
Then it's not platonic.
No. I didn't say it's platonic. I said that his goal isn't to fuck. That's not his first goal. His goal is to siphon off her female young audience that he could be seen as the non-threatening, non-predatory good guy. Like,
okay, me and Bruce argument, right? At least my argument, and I think Bruce made this argument too, because I agree with him. He said that, there's no such thing as platonic nothing. It's bullshit. And I would agree with that if she offered him the pussy, he would take it, which by definition means it's not platonic, right? Now, honestly, he might not make like an overt move. He might not like try too hard. He might do a little subtle thing.
I don't think they're friends. I just think it's a streamer thing. I see these streamers are collabing. I don't think none of them are friends. I think they're all trying to siphon off their audience, and that's why we see so much.
But what I'm arguing is he gets no audience from her. She gets audience from him. He don't really get audience from her. Like, if anything, it might be his people that watch because it's a girl on, but I'm saying he could get the same effect of having bitches on stream with regular girls, right? That's why I tell all these guys. Like, I tell Neon all the time, and all these guys like, stop letting these streamer bitches use y'all,
they
bro.
said
like,
Ben Dadon says Yana is his stepdaughter. He's taking like a parental role.
Who Ben said what? She's his stepdaughter?
Yeah.
Bro, niggas always got some weird setups, bro. Like, bro, let's be honest. Niggas always got some weirdo fucking family setups, bro. Some fucking chimpanzee setups, man. Like, come on, bro. What's going on here, man? What the fuck? Nigga, like, it's my cousin's daughter, bro. Like, come on, man. Black people, man.
No. I mean,
niggas in here chatting about it lose their minds. Oh, this nigga racist. Oh, I know I am. Cry harder, bitches.
Wait, chat.
I think about to go crazy.
I think it's a business thing. Like for example, I'm going to lie to you. All right. So I'll give you 2 examples. And chat, y'all should tell me if I should do it. Now, granted, I'm the guy who they say, like, goes at women, which I'm like, I feel like I go at everybody. But, the women who don't watch me only hear me go at women because they only tune into women shit. Fine. There's 2 people who said they wanted to do a stream with me. One is Boston Richie's ex-girlfriend, which is Tatiana Chanel. I told her at first, and I said it on stream, and we did talk about it afterwards. I said, listen, I know you and your boyfriend are going through some stuff. I know him. I don't want to do a stream with you that maybe it could be seen or I could be used to make him look crazy. I'm I don't have a problem with him, and he's done a free show for me, and like he's like, we have a good rapport. So I don't want to be used in some toxic relationship.
You're a stand-up guy, bro.
Yeah,
somebody else would have done it.
Yeah, I think somebody else was trying to fuck her. Like, so she hit me up and she said, "Hey, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get in the streaming space, and you're one of the people." And I said, we could do a stream if it's, like, I don't want to do no Boston Richie type stream. Like, if it's something to Boston Richie, I don't want to do. The second thing is there's another young woman. She's really popular. Her name's like Jordan Lucas, and a lot of people, because I didn't know too much about her, they were like, "Yo, you should do a stream with her." And I said, well, why? They're like, well, she's known on TikTok, she's whatever. But they're like, she has a female fan base. If you do a stream with her, her female fan base will start to warm up to you because there's a lot of dudes that watch me. So I'm like, okay, so this might be like some type of exchange. So that's what I'm thinking with all this like little sis stuff. Like, these guys can't be that horny to try to like little sis somebody on stream to fuck, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Look, I think they would look. If the opportunity presents itself, they would do it. But what I'm saying is that, like, there's not enough value from the female side to justify a strictly platonic relationship. And that's typically how it goes in streaming, because I'm being honest here, bro. People might call me a hater. Some dudes in your chest saying I hate women, whatever, only on Tuesdays. But the reality is that most women, right, are just not good when it comes to streaming. So they need to siphon off fan base from male streamers because women aren't interesting enough to hold people's attention for long form content on a stream. That's why they have to do dumb shit. They gotta be, they gotta do gooner bait material, like this dumbass chick Sin or whatever. She said, "Oh, I'm a hater, blah, blah." Bro, you're fucking useless. Like, if you weren't like, using niggas like Agent, big forehead retard Agent, these other people, right? And you have these like setups.
Isn't that her boyfriend?
I don't know what the relationship shit is, but like she was siphoning, she was like,
I've heard her name a bunch of times. I'm not too sure what she does.
She posted some shit with her doing the Cinco de Mayo thing, like put on some short shorts or whatever, trying to goon niggas. Like, yo, I see what these women are doing. I see these female streamers. I'm like, bro, I see what y'all are doing. I know the game. You guys are useless. You're stupid. You don't offer value. So you guys have to constantly collab with male streamers that do to steal their audience, because these female streamers, all they do is they collab with men, take their audience, because a lot of these niggas goon. And then that's what it is. Whether it be Pokemon, Valkyrie, all these girls. Useless, bro. They're not interesting. Watch their shit for 3 minutes and be like, what the fuck? This is retarded. What's going on here? Like, what's going on? Yo, again, if we're up to me, bro, if I became president, bro, I would literally, bro, we take women's rights away, bro. That's how we save this country. We have to take women's rights away.
There's some few, like, entertaining women streamers.
Come on, man. Who?
Why are the Jordan Lucas girl is really funny? I heard she's funny.
Like outside of Candace Owens, I can't think of nobody else. And here's the thing with Candace Owens. Candace uses no sexuality. She dresses conservatively. She uses her brain. 99% of female streamers can't do that shit. Candace the only one that I could think of that uses her brain and cover shit properly. All these other women like sexualize themselves because they're stupid and they have to.
Yo, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I think that nigga Bruce might have cop blocked your rage. Like, imagine if he would. Now he can't have his arm around her no more. He can't just fall asleep on her on some little sis shit. Yo,
can't do it.
Bruce, that was a crazy cop block play you just did, gang. Like, like everybody knows. Yo, you know that one guy, he's like trying to like turtle his way to the pussy. He's been taking 5 years. Yo, don't be the guy who blows up his spot. You blew up 3 years of work. What are you doing,
bro? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, yo, he definitely blew up his position, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yo, Bruce, I fuck with you, but you crazy, you wild for that. And I don't really think, what's the name would do that, but still, bro, like, come on, Bruce. Like, Bruce, game is game, man.
Yeah, he definitely, blew up his spot or whatever. But yeah, like with the whole your age thing, like, come on, bro. Like, we're not stupid, man. We know women don't provide that much value in a platonic situation. You're giving her way more value.
You don't like your age?
Look, I don't have a problem with him. I think he's kind of, he's a progressive, bro. And progressives always piss me off, right? Like, he's a liberal. He did some shit with Hassan, whatever. He said some shit about, like, me being racist or whatever before. Like, I just don't like these progressive niggas that like get, if you're over here calling niggas racist, bro, you're a bitch. I'm sorry. Like, everybody is racist to a degree. Like, this whole concept of like, you're racist, you're anti-Semitic, blah, blah.
Wait, he dissed you before?
What's that?
Your rage dissed you before?
Yeah, he made some kind of comment before about like me being a racist or some shit like that.
Yeah, you and him got to get on a call, exactly. Man. You and him got to get on. He's a funny guy. He's
I don't have an issue with him. I just saw this shit with Bruce drop off and I was like, bro, like this.
Bruce, you fucked up for that.
With this chick?
Bruce is fucked up for that.
No, that was funny though. He was telling the truth.
Yeah, but he was fucking up with that nigga's pussy, bro. Like, yo, what's up with you, bro? Like, stop the cop blocking. Like, you know how much, you know how much shit I done bought her as little sis, and now you fucked it up. I can't cash out. Like, get the fuck out. Yo, Bruce, mind your fucking business, nigga.
Now he's got to transition to one of her friends or some shit and put it in work again. Like, it sucks, but But he's not fooling none of us, bro. Like that, because here's the other thing too with these guys. Like, right? They gotta be like pro woman, right? That's the other thing too. Like, they gotta be pro woman. They can't like
no. Your age, give it up. Your age, give it up. Like he, from what I see, he's not that woke.
Nah, man, he's kind of woke, bro. He's kind of woke, man.
Really?
Like he's very woke, bro.
Yo,
yeah, bro.
Your age used to be like a fucking meme page, bro, a repost page. Like that nigga used to be like.
Nigga, he did a collab with Hassan Piker. If you're doing a collab with Hassan Piker, you're a fucking leftist, bro.
Yo, did you see what Hassan said about me?
I did. I don't know why I called you a op. That's weird.
Bro, we had such a respectful conversation. I tried to rope you in that you could, you'd be a little bit more informed on certain things. I thought it was cool. Like, I hate the fact, this is the only thing I hated about him saying I was an op. Is like, okay, if we have a political disagreement, I never called him out of his name. Actually, I can't even name off rip maybe like 10 things I disagree with him on just in the world and like politics. But he's one of the people that think that anyone who doesn't think like him is an op. And I'm like, That's the dangerous shit that actually makes people feel like they gotta hurt people. Because he could just be like, yeah, me and act like, I talked to him for a little bit, like, yeah, that guy has different opinions than me, and I'd have been cool with it. But he labeled it like I'm his op, like, and I'm like, huh?
Well, here's the thing about progressives, man. Like, the thing with them is, like, if you don't agree with them, like, they dehumanize you, right? They call you a Nazi, a racist, a bigot, blah blah, and they say that, right? Where first they dehumanize you, then once they dehumanize you, then they're like, all right, it's okay to enact violence against this guy. They did the same thing with Charlie Kirk. That's why, like, the TikTok trend right now, they think it's funny that Charlie got shot almost a year later, right?
Really?
So, yeah, bro, like, there's a whole TikTok trend where, like, they're doing like a trend, like, people will be like in some clothes, like, it's mostly girls. They'll be in some clothes, and then they'll do a transition, and it'll be like the sound effect when Charlie got shot. And they think that's just funny. Like, the left is totally cool with political violence. They're totally cool with it, and they accept it. And I kind of analyze this. I'll tell you why.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Are they totally cool with it, or they just don't seem to have a problem? But they're not actively like promoting that type of stuff, right?
Nah, bro. Look, they do. Like, they might not do it at, like, overtly on certain platforms or whatever, but they're totally cool with that, and I'll explain why. If you look at it, right, it's in the word. Conservatives, we're here to conserve, right? We're here to conserve what's going on. Progressives are to progress. Every revolution to progress in general typically has to do with what? Violence. So leftists in general and progressives understand that to get their political ideology across, they typically have to protest. That's why they're way more likely to go out and protest than conservatives are. They're way more likely to do demonstrations, do sit-ins, etc. And they're more likely also to enact violence to push their political ideology. This is why, like, when Charlie got shot, they were all celebrating on TikTok. They think it's cool, right? They think it's funny. When Donald Trump got almost assassinated like 3 times, they think it's cool, right? Really? On the conservative side, like, you know, we're not over here cheering for progressives to get killed or shot, like, because, like, we're like, what the hell's going on here? On their side, they openly cheer for that shit and they think it's cool.
Yeah, hey, and I've said this, you know, I responded to him, but Hassan, check this out, man.
He said we kill Rick Scott. Like, he literally said on Twitter, oh yeah, you kill Rick Scott, right? He's advocated for violence against people before, but the reason why he gets away with it is because he's a progressive. When you're a progressive, bro, you can say all kinds of shit. This is why he still hasn't got canceled, despite the fact that he talks shit about Jews too. Like, someone that talks shit about them boys, right? If you're a conservative, you're gonna get banned. But if you're a progressive, using like the whole Free Palestine moniker or banner, right? And then, like, you know, using that to shield yourself, you're not gonna get banned, which is what they do.
Hassan, man, listen, you know, I think politics should be able to be debated in a public square without thinking that maybe someone who has a difference of opinion, even if you feel like you've rationalized it or you've debated it and provided so many facts that, you know, you think someone would agree with you. If someone disagrees with you, that's not your mortal enemy.
But here's the problem, bro. They don't want to debate. Because, like, when I go on these college campuses, like, and I actually talk to these libtards, these idiots, right, these progressives, whether it's me debating, critical race theory being a scam, is systemic racism being a scam, or, Jewish influence of America, or, women and male dynamics, whatever. Like, they look at it like, oh, you're a Nazi, you don't deserve to live, right? Like, that's how they look at it, because they understand that their political ideology can't actually stand up to real scrutiny. So what? They don't like to debate. Progressives don't like to debate. They like to call you a name and then get you canceled. This is why if you look at, like, cancel culture, right? Think about it. Censorship was way worse when Biden was in office. Censorship was way worse anytime a Democrat said, because they know they can't actually debate their ideologies. They have to sit there and call you a Nazi, then get you censored. That's what they always do. That's always been their status quo. And that's just what it is. And, like, someone like Hassan, he would never do a debate against me. He would never do it because he knows that he doesn't have the truth on his side, and he doesn't do debates. A lot of these big progressives don't do debates for that purpose.
Actually, we talked about this before. So you would do a debate versus him, right?
Yeah, I'd kill him, but he won't do it. He's going to say some bullshit like, "Oh, Myron has no emotion," even though, like, I kept Kamala Harris out of office, and she admitted in her book. But he'll never admit that, right? So, like, or he won't want to do that. Dean Withers was supposed to do a debate with me. He chickened out last second because they know what time it is. They know they don't have the truth on their side when they actually deal with someone on the right wing that knows what they're going to say and actually has the truth on their side. Because when you're a conservative, bro, we tend to deal with reality, right? Like we tend to deal with biological realities, like what's here observed. They deal in like this, they deal like in fantasy land. Like it should be this way. Like communism does work. Yeah. Socialism. Yeah. Let's just give everybody handouts. Like they don't understand. Like communism sounds great on paper, but it doesn't work in practice. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or that women are not equal to men at all. Like the biggest thing they get mad at me, you're a misogynist. No, I'm a realist. Like women, quite literally, don't run society. They don't build society, and they shouldn't have any type of real power in society. And if you look at Western Europe, for example, right? Why is Western Europe getting destroyed by immigration, by open borders, etc.? Because women have positions of power and representation all across these Western countries, and they're getting cooked. You look at Canada, getting cooked because there's over female representation in politics. Anytime there's overrepresentation in female politics, you run into problems because women don't govern with the same level of rationale and stoicism that men do. They tend to appeal to emotion, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're very sympathetic. But that leads to issues when you look at governing a society. Like that girl, Irina Zarutska, the Ukrainian woman that got killed, stabbed in the neck. That dude was let out by a progressive female judge that felt sorry for him, even though he went to jail all those times, because that's what they do. They have a lot of sympathy, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But you can't have these people in positions of power because then the society suffers.
Okay. Let's take a quick sidestep a bit.
Yeah, sure.
And chat, I'm going to cover this in depth, but I do want to get Myron's opinion on this. So I'm hoping he's familiar with the topic. Stefon Diggs. Okay. Stefon Diggs had 5 hoes employed working for him. He's dicking them all down. And at the end of the year, he gave all them bitches a 1099. I thought that was a cold piece of work. However, it appeared that it was trouble in paradise because even though he was paying them money to work for him for some bullshit jobs, like imagine, like the chef literally testified, she sucked his dick, licked his ass, got fucked in the ass multiple times before she ever picked up a fucking skillet. You know what I mean? She said she got hired. Yeah. She got hired based on nothing to do with cooking, right?
Yeah.
So it comes to this part where a lot of people feel like the reason why he was in a criminal trial is that he did the cardinal sin. He mixed his personal life with work. And ultimately, why she claimed, you know, they had a problem is that she felt like she didn't get paid all the money she deserved. And then supposedly, while they were on good terms, he promised her, he said, hey, I'm going to invest in your business. After she fell out with him, she still wanted him to invest. And that's why she wanted to file criminal charges, and then he almost had to settle. What's your thoughts on dudes got a lot of money, you put all your girls on payroll?
It can be dangerous to some degree. It definitely can be. You know, especially when you have multiple. And this is the importance of like, you know, this is why I'm so transparent with women. I tell them, look, I'm going to have multiple girls. It is what it is. Like, you know, you can accept it or not. Because when you kind of like get a girl and you promise her that you create this premise of I'm going to be monogamous to you, and then you cheat on her, or she finds out you cheat on her and you don't keep up with your promise. What I've realized is like women don't do well when they take L's. Like they don't do well like with like holding the L from a man. Like they're used to giving out the L's to men. So when a man gives a woman an L, it's like they got to get blood for that.
Hey, so do you know the full story? So essentially, which I think this is a story as old as time. The woman that's the chef, she got this BBL. She probably think her shit is hidden. By the way, complete butterface, okay? Yep. She must be good at making butter beans because she definitely had a butterface, right? So she don't look that good. She's in her 40s, okay? By the way, they also testified in court. She was trash at cooking too. They said she was making him dried up hot dogs. She was like, yo, she said one time, she was like, yo, she was like, what does the chef make? Dried up hot dog, left it on the counter, no nothing. So, listen, she wasn't really good at that. Anyway, let me break the scenario down. He hires like kind of an assistant, doesn't call her an assistant. He's fucking her. Her name's Lindsay. She's a younger, more attractive girl than the chef. The chef feels entitled. Why? The chef is the only worker he's fucking that's living in the house. So she gets to live in the house. Everybody else doesn't live in the house. What happens? Other than his actual girlfriend, Cardi B, she's moving around like she's the queen bee. I'm the boss. I live in the house. You other bitches, he might fuck you, but you don't live in the house. What happens is she wants to go to Miami because she's done the greatest thing ever. I call her a bottom bitch. I'm going to tell you why. She befriends Cardi B. Cardi B doesn't know she's getting cracked. Cardi B just thinks she's a happy-go-lucky chef, and she ignores, Cardi B used to work in a strip club. So Cardi B ignores the fact that I look at it and say, if your chef has a BBL, red flag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
facts.
red fucking flag. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, what does that have to do with the fucking job? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I say red flag, but for whatever reason, she becomes friends with Cardi B. She's fucking him. She's friends with Cardi B. The dude is going to Art Basel in Miami. You're in Miami. And apparently the other girl he's fucking, because this is what happens when you have multiple girls. When they realize you have a favorite, they bring you the secrets of the favorite. Hey, did you know she's talking shit about you? Yo, Myron. Yep. Oh, that's your favorite girl? You know she told this other person that da-da-da-da-da-da makes you untrustworthy. So the other girl comes in and says, yo, your older girl, the chef that lives at your house, she been telling your baby mama about all the dick you've been slanging. So she tells the girl, you can't come with me to Art Basel. The girl had matching outfits ready to match with Cardi B. She thinks she's going to whatever. After she gets shut down from that, she gets extremely upset. Hey, I'm done working for you. You've been disrespecting me. Just pay me for the whole season. I'll leave. You don't value me. Stefon Diggs walks in the room, allegedly, gets upset and said, bitch, you know you ain't going nowhere. She claims he puts hands on her. She claims that it turns into a situation. This is why he beat the case. His birthday was coming up. She still gave him a birthday gift after the ass whooping. Also, she supposedly was either contemplating or was in the process of making a police report. She's seen it in her room because thank God for cameras. You got to have cameras with these. She's over here dancing like throwing that BBL in a circle. Nothing of her demeanor shows that she was distressed. She was, losing it. If anything, she looks happy. Case fucking dismissed. The agent there, or the police officer, detective who investigated the case, say, yeah, I looked at all the evidence. We didn't see any bruising.
Why the hell did they prosecute it? Why did they even take it to court?
Because she gave a statement.
So they had to do it.
Yes, she gave a statement. It's a high profile case. There was holes in the case. She deleted messages because she didn't want the press to know. Really, I don't know if you ever looked into the A$AP Rocky case. This is the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll give you the lowdown with the A$AP Rocky case and this case.
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, okay, say you're the celebrity. I'm not the celebrity. You do something to me, and essentially I'm telling you, I'm like, yo, Myron, you're like, you fucked up. You should probably give me 100,000. You're like, man, fuck off. I'm not giving you 100,000. Yep. All right. Yep. Well, now I'm bringing in the police.
Yep.
Now the police is involved, and I still hit you, and I'm like, listen, this could go away. You have a lot more to lose. I have nothing to lose, Myron. Yep. You should just give me the money or just make it whole. We're good. That's why A$AP Rocky beat his case. The guy literally said to a friend who actually betrayed him and gave the recording to A$AP Rocky, he said A$AP Rocky got a lot to lose. If he just paid me the money, I'll switch my story. Case dismissed. Yeah. They played the fucking audio. He taped it. So whatever, A$AP must have paid this other guy like, yo, thank you for snitching on your friend. It's the same thing with this situation. This woman was not really down to prosecute A$AP, not A$AP, but Stefon Diggs. She was down to do whatever.
She just want to pay out.
Yeah, she just want to pay out.
She get the payout. She said, you know what? Let me go ahead. I got nothing to lose. And here's the thing. Like, bro, this is the scary part. Guys got to understand this is an ugly thing. A lot of times, guys, a woman can make an accusation, and that could get you arrested. Like, just her making an accusation, probable cause with no corroborating evidence, bro. With zero corroborating evidence. You might even have exculpatory evidence, and you can still get arrested, bro, for that bullshit. Or, like, they'll open a case, and if it's high profile, they might even make the arrest just so they can get a little bit of clout, or that they don't have to deal with, like, oh, we don't want allegations that this person has money or has some status, and that's the reason why we didn't prosecute. So a lot of times the police and the attorney's office will prosecute you and arrest you just so they can go ahead and defer to the jury to be like, yeah, there's nothing here, or let the litigation process itself like just take an L, because like they look at it like, yo, you know what? We don't want to deal with the headaches. This is someone's famous. We don't want to be looked at like we're like paid off or whatever, and they'll do it. But like the scary part for people is like, guys, you need to understand, bro. A woman can make an accusation, bro, just because she's pissed off, and you could go to jail off that shit. And it's absolutely nuts with no corroborating evidence.
So I believe, so he beat the case as a criminal case. Some people think it's civil. She was also seeking some civil stuff. I don't know if she actually did file a civil case. That hasn't seen the light of day, but she did obviously request money. And supposedly she claims, at least she said on the stand, he offered her $100,000. The whole thing with this is that this is a police department. Which
PD did it?
Dedham or something, like it's from Massachusetts.
Oh, Dedham, Massachusetts. Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah. Suburb of Boston.
They had to file this case. I'll tell you why. Because, remember, the cop gets on the stand.
Doing Dedham, bro. They got nothing to do over there.
Yo, the cop got on the stand and said, we didn't have much evidence. The thing is that she made the statement, and once it got public, TMZ is picking it up. And TMZ picked it up. They linked the NFL to it. So now they were going to be looked at as, oh, you're the police department who's kind of sweeping this under the rug because this is a famous football player from your state.
Yep, they had that in that case. And here's the thing with the state that people need to understand: the state has no problem with losing cases. They're not the feds, bro. Like they have no problem with cases getting dismissed, them looking crazy. Like they would rather, and this happens a lot if you look at like a lot of these police shootings. Like, especially if it's like a race thing where it's like a white cop and a black person, like they'll bring the case even if it's a clean shoot because they don't want to deal with the backlash and the media scrutiny and the frenzy. So they'll bring the case, they'll prosecute the case. They don't care about losing it. The district attorney's office doesn't care about losing it. The detective doesn't care about losing it. They'll just go and they'll deal with it so they can like kind of push the buck. So the detective is like, all right, I'm going to do the case. And I'm going to push it to the state attorney's office, and then they can decline. State attorney's office gets it, like, oh, we got to prosecute. It's in the news now. They prosecute. They indict. After they indict, then they're like, all right, let's go ahead and take this thing to trial. Or if it gets destroyed in a preliminary hearing or it doesn't even make it to, indictment or whatever, we do a probable cause arrest. So they will just do it a lot of times just to absolve themselves of the responsibility of the investigation.
Hey,
so
what you're mentioning is the passing the buck thing. By the way, I think I told you this personally.
Pass the buck, yeah.
But also, I think I said this publicly before. Remember all, they try to bring up like whatever about some girl who accused me or whatever. There is no case. The police looked at, I handed over security footage. I got everything taped. They literally told me this. This is what they literally told me. They told me and my lawyers this. There's nothing there. We can't charge him. He's done nothing. However, this is before it went public. Before it went public, I guarantee.
Oh.
They said this to my lawyer. They said, academics is a high, whatever. They said, if later on the media finds out about this, because nobody knew about it then, we don't want them to say we gave academics preferential treatment by saying we're not going to prosecute him because there's nothing to prosecute. We're going to put it in front of grand jury. I had a whole meeting with my lawyers about this. They literally said, so how it works where I live, say for sexual assault, if they look at the evidence and they have a panel. So the panel will say, this is law enforcement. They would kind of almost say, all right, we're gonna file charges, right? Because we do know these type of charges can ruin people's life.
Yeah.
Their panel says, this is law enforcement. There's nothing there on ACT. There's nothing there. However, because I'm me, they said, we're not going to tell a victim that we're not prosecuting some high profile guy that later on they go do an interview. Later on, TMZ comes with some shit and it says, and everyone's looking at us like, why didn't you prosecute academics? So you know what they did? They convened a grand jury by the grace of God. And thank God the grand jury said the same thing. But you know what?
Yeah.
They could blame the grand jury. They could say,
exactly.
So when people say, well, why didn't y'all indict academics? It wasn't our thing. The grand jury did it. It was It was people of his. It was his peers, and half of the people wouldn't vote that he should be indicted.
Yeah, and that's what they'll always do. And here's the thing, so this is what happened. The police department, they were like, all right, we don't want to deal with this shit. They passed the state attorney's office. State attorney's office was like, we don't want to deal with this shit. We're going to convene a grand jury. And then the grand jury got it. They knew it was bullshit the whole time, but they brought it. And then the grand jury's like, we're not going to pass a true bill on this. This is retarded. Why are y'all wasting our time? But they don't realize, like, the state attorney's office and the police department is doing that to what we call in the government CYA, cover your ass.
Yep.
So if TMZ or any of these dudes pick up the story, they say, get the fuck out of our face. We brought it to grand jury. We convened a grand jury. We went ahead and we did our part.
Exactly.
And that's crazy that they convene a grand jury. Because let me tell you something, bro. If you weren't you, they would have been like, bro, what the fuck? They would have asked her some more. They would have brought her in for another interview. Are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. But since it's you, they're like, okay, let's push it to state attorney's office.
They told my lawyer, listen, this is I don't want to, kind of air out because there is a head prosecutor and like the assistant or the deputy. Sure. So, but it went to the point where they're like, they told me because, so right around that time, people had tried to break in my house. And I remember the detective kept coming over and it was like, hey, that other thing, it was like, have they told you like you're all good? And I'm like, they haven't told me nothing. And I was like,
detective.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. So the detective told me, it was like, yo, bro, you're good for it, but there's a lot of shit going on with it because you're you. Everyone wants to cross their T's, dot their I's, because they want to make sure that later on nobody could say, oh, a police department gave academics some type of privilege. And at that point, I was just like, yo, what the fuck? But like, it turned out okay. But you get to realize that's how law enforcement works, right? Like you want to pass the buck, you know what I mean? It's like, you've been if we bring it on the Fed level, you write a criminal complaint. If that shit is complete bullshit, it's all on you. But once you get an indictment by a grand jury, it's like, okay, we're good, right? Like, I'm pretty sure AUSA, if it's like, okay, this is just signed by Myron Gaines, they're like, all right, cool, like.
Well, here's the thing with the feds, bro. AUSA is not even gonna. You're not even gonna bother to drop them a criminal complaint unless the AUSA tells you to do it. Like the feds, I was explaining this earlier on my stream because I don't know if you saw. There's a big drug bust in LA going on right now.
Really?
Right?
About what?
Huge. Yeah. Like hundreds of agents. They like MacArthur Parkway or Operation MacArthur is what it's called.
MacArthur Park? I've heard about
MacArthur Park.
That's where Whack 100 be over there banging, like throwing up all them signs.
Yeah, bro. The DEA just hit that shit. They're getting fentanyl.
What?
They arrested like 16, 20 people. Yeah, bro. It's breaking news all over the place. Literally like an hour or two ago, I was talking about it with the DEA.
Yo, free Whack. Hopefully nothing happened.
No, he didn't pick him up. I saw who they arrested. It was all a bunch of like, the two main people were Hispanics, a chick and her boyfriend. But it wasn't like gang shows. Like it was a drug case. But yeah, like the feds, bro, a lot of people don't notice. They don't have that much power to actually like bring cases forward. Like when I mean the federal agents, it's the AUSA's office that runs everything, bro. They run everything because they have the luxury of taking cases that they want, that they think are sexy, and then the luxury of not taking cases. And this kind of what sucks with the state. A lot of times they'll get some bullshit ass cases and they have to take it or deal with it anyway because of, they deal with everything. So a prosecutor might have a DUI on one side, a murder on another side, an armed robbery over here. So a lot of them are overworked. So they can't work every case to the same level of like, sophistication and, serious intent as like an AUSA can. An AUSA can like work a case for 5-10 years and be cool with it. Like a prosecutor is not. So you're not going to do anything as a federal agent, like especially filing any type of paperwork, like at the legal level, like a criminal complaint or anything. Most agents don't even write their criminal complaints. I'm going to be honest with you. It's the AUSA that writes it. I wrote my own criminal complaints because I came from the Southwest border and like that was what we did because it was so busy. But most federal agents don't even write their own search warrants or their affidavits in general. It's the prosecutor that writes it all.
Hey, I want to bring this up and chat. Remember, so we are going to get back to Stefon Diggs stuff later. We'll do breakdown and we'll
discuss whatever, bro. Stuff. Whatever you want to chat about.
But while Myron's here, I want to give him like we could get some some quick shoots at him. Hey, I want you to put on your law enforcement hat here.
Sure.
Not your political hat. You have a lot of hats.
All right, I'll put the cop hat on.
Okay.
Sure.
So, there's a guy who just responded to me, and I reacted to some videos of his, and I reacted on Kick. We're talking about Chud the Builder. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee, or actually he's in Nashville, Tennessee. He's from Clarksville, Tennessee. And I'll give the shtick about him. Basically, he kind of like...
I know who he is.
Yeah, he goes up to people. He says, hey, listen, he believes in freedom of speech, but then he kind of goes, kind of almost like, a little bit antagonizing, and he'll say the N-word, this and third. Now, wherever people fall on that is whatever, but what I've seen with that is that it's borderline really antagonistic, and I responded to it, and I said, listen, you know what? What's going to happen here is because there's something about how he's doing it. It's not just the word, right? Like there's some people who actually believe that the word should not be. Okay, that's not what we're arguing. It's the way he's doing it. Some people, well, not some people, most people feel like it's really antagonizing. Anyway, that's not even the conversation. He responded to a video that I said, what's going to happen is this. You've gotten so many people in the black community feeling away, right, about how you operate, that even if someone swings on you and assaults you, when that person gets out, he's going to have like $100,000 on a GoFundMe. And I don't know if that's worth it, because it's not that you're picking bad actors and most people will be able to agree with you like on how you're acting. It feels like you're the antagonist, and that's where you're going to lose people. Anyway, he responded to me on Twitter and he said, by you saying that people are going to attack me for whatever and maybe they could get a GoFundMe, you're encouraging someone getting shot in the face. And, I'm going to respond to him fully tonight, but like, I was really shocked that his interpretation of how self-defense works is that he could go around and even, yes, free speech, but if you're antagonizing people, let's say someone punches you, you as a law enforcement officer, that's why I said put your law enforcement hat on. Okay, say you're going around, you're saying the N-word, you're saying people are chimping out. Someone punches you straight in the face. Yeah, you have a weapon on you. You could shoot him. Nashville, Tennessee.
Let me look, because different states are different. Some states have a stand your ground law, like Florida does. I don't know if Tennessee has a duty to retreat.
But hold on though, stand your ground or not. And let's bring it to you. Let's make it a little bit more personal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some people feel like you're inflammatory. If they saw you in public and they punched you, in the law enforcement realm, does that rise to the standard of using lethal force?
So there's a lot of different factors that come in when it comes to lethal force. So whenever it comes to lethal force, right, this is why it's so important to be able to articulate what's going on, right? So I'll give you an example. If someone pulls out pepper spray on me, personally, Myron Gaines, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm going to shoot them, and I'll tell you why.
Can you? Legally. We're talking, this is why I said cop hat.
And I'm going to tell you why. Me particularly, I'm going to tell you why. When I was in the academy, I was pepper sprayed. So I remember what it was like to be pepper sprayed, and I know that if I'm pepper sprayed, I'm cooked. For days, I couldn't see. I was burning for days. Even when I was showering, I couldn't get it out of my eyes. It was blurry. So I know personally that if someone tries to pepper spray me, I will not be able to, I'm going to be incapacitated 1,000% for days. So now, so when I, if I use lethal force, I'm able to articulate why, right? Because I know that if someone pepper sprays me, I'm cooked and I cannot defend myself. I'm incapacitated. Now my life is in danger, right? Everyone is different, right? If a woman, right? Let's say, I'll give you a perfect example. If someone punches a woman versus someone punches a man, right? Someone punches me versus someone punches a woman's going to be able to escalate the use of force ladder way faster than me, because she's going to argue, well, it's a man. He punched me and he almost knocked me out. I couldn't afford to take another punch. I grabbed my gun and I shot him. Now with me, right? Let's say the person is like, smaller than me or whatever and punches me. Like, can I articulate and be like, oh yeah, I shot him because, I felt like there was a danger to my life, whatever. Sure, but it's not going to be as strong as like a small woman saying, oh, I got punched. So the point I'm trying to make here is like, use of force is almost always contingent upon the individual who is using the force. And then it's never based on 20/20 hindsight. It's based on what are the facts known to that individual at the time that the use of force was done on them. This is why, like, if someone like pulls out a plastic gun and you shoot and kill them, and then you find out after the fact that the gun was plastic, the shoot is still valid because at that time, with all the rapidly evolving facts, you didn't know. You thought it was a gun, and what would a reasonable person believe? And that's the most important thing. What would a reasonable person believe given all the facts and circumstances? A reasonable person would believe, it is a real gun, and they shoot.
Okay, so let me ask you again, because this is the basis of, this conversation. What I think is going to happen with this Chud the Builder guy is that someone is going to assault him. They're going to punch him. And it feels like he's been saying, if you attack me, I'm going to kill you. And that is a legal conundrum that is almost is being tabled and is probably going to happen at a certain point. But I don't think legality falls in his lap in terms of him thinking that his actions would be protected, right? So let me ask you a question. If you go for a jog, right? Somebody sees you, you're jogging, whatever, you're jogging through a park. They'd be like, you have your gun on you. They don't know. They see you. They'll be like, hey, ain't you the nigga from the Fresh and Fit podcast? You'd be like, yeah, what's up, man? And you keep jogging. They'll be like, man, didn't you say you don't fuck with whatever? And you're like, yeah, you keep, and then they just sock you. Bang!
Yep.
Are you then allowed, you're not knocked out, but you're fucking startled. Are you then allowed to take your gun out and defend yourself, or do you have to catch a squabble?
It depends on the situation. So if he catches me off guard and he hits me and I didn't see him coming and I don't know what he has and I shoot him, that'll probably be a clean shoot depending on the situation.
Oh, okay.
Because the thing is, man, every use of force situation is so different, and then it's based on what was known to the individual at the time. Let's say it's nighttime. It's early morning, right? I'm running. I could say and he hits me. Well, I can't see his hands. I don't know what happened. He just came up on me. It's nighttime, etc. That changes the pattern of facts significantly. So, was there anyone else with him? Was there someone else in another car and they were saying some things? Did he say, I'm going to kill you? Did he say, I'm going to knock you out, blah, blah, whatever? All of these different factors, and this is why use of force is so tricky, because it depends on all the different multitude of factors that came in that led you to, that use of force. Some idiot in your chat said something about, pepper spray doesn't, you can't be met with lethal force. It absolutely can. Pull out pepper spray on a cop and see what happens, dumbass. Some niggas are stupid in your chat, bro. No offense. Pull out pepper spray on a cop and see what happens. You're going to get shot. 100%.
Wait. You believe law enforcement would they would shoot someone who was trying to pepper spray?
Bro, if you pull out pepper spray on a cop, you're dead. I'm telling you right now, you're dead.
Okay.
You are going to get shot. And I'll tell you why. Because every cop gets pepper sprayed in the academy, and ask anyone in here that's law enforcement. Almost every police academy forces you to get pepper sprayed and definitely tased, especially if you carry a taser. If you pull out pepper spray on a cop, you're going to get shot. 100%. Because people need to understand when it comes to police officers, they elevate to a level above the force that's being used against them. So if you go ahead and you punch a cop or whatever, right? Or you have your hands, whatever, depending on the situation, they're going to pull out a taser. They're going to pull out a baton. They're going to use numbers. They're always going to make it where there's a saying, you go home no matter what. That's what every single police department teaches you. This is what every federal agency teaches you. You go home no matter what. You win every single fight. If that means you beat his ass with a baton, if that means you tase him, if that means you pepper spray him, if it means it's 70 y'all niggas and you whoop his ass, you're going to go home. That's what they teach you. That's why they're so aggressive if you ever show any type of force against them. So if you try to squabble up, they're going to tase or shoot you. If you try to pull out OC, you're 1,000% going to get shot. That's why some people in your chat are retarded. I know offense, some of y'all niggas are stupid and need to just shut up. If you pull out pepper spray, you're going to get shot by the police. 100%.
So
you're going to get shot.
So I was thinking that maybe you would probably get shot because a police officer has lethal weapons on their person, and if they become incapacitated, you could probably use those weapons to not only kill them but kill other people. So they need to, number one, when you pull out anything, make sure that they're still vigilant and still within, whatever. So
sure, because they have the right to be the aggressor. So I understand what yes.
That would be my thought.
Yeah, because they have the right to be the aggressor. But also, as a private civilian, if you got a gun on you and someone knocks you out, you can also articulate that you're incapacitated. They can take your gun from you and kill you. Same situation. The only thing with the cops is cops have no duty to retreat. That's the big one. Police have absolutely no duty to retreat. So when I was debating the Renee Good one, And the Alex Petty shit, and people are like, yo, they don't have to do that, blah, blah. Police have zero duty to retreat at all.
Wait. Could you give us a little bit? Is that the person that ICE killed?
Yeah, those are the two ICE ones. And I debated this on college campuses too. And they got all mad and shit like that. But like I was trying to explain to them, like when it comes to police get an extra layer of protection because they have no duty to retreat when if they're conducting lawful enforcement. Because in order for them to conduct their job, they can't retreat, right? Does that make sense? So like they have to be the aggressor a lot of the times to take you into custody if they have, probable cause or, some type of legal basis to be dealing with you in the first place. So when it comes to Renee Good, right, that's the girl that he shot through the windshield, if you remember.
Yeah.
Like her, she was there obstructing them from trying to get through. That's why she had her car in the street or whatever. They were doing an immigration enforcement operation.
Yeah.
She was there blocking them off.
That was in Minnesota, right?
That was, in Minneapolis. Exactly. And they told her, yo, move. She didn't want to move. They warned her twice. And then that's when they're like, all right, well, we're going to get you out. And then when they tried to arrest her because she had been committing a crime, 18 U.S.C. 111, which is assault or impeding a federal law enforcement officer, right? Then she drove the car towards him. He had every right to shoot her because it's like, yo, that's a deadly weapon. And they were lawfully there and she was impeding them. And it is what it is. It's a clean shoot. That's why he hasn't been indicted. And I know a lot of progressives get mad about that shit, but police have absolutely zero duty to retreat when they're, acting within the confinements of their authority.
All right.
Same thing with Alex Petty. He got shot. That was the guy that had the gun on his person. People got mad because the gun that discharged, it got discharged because it had an accidental discharge and went off, if you remember. And it wasn't even Alex Petty that shot it. One of the Border Patrol agents took the gun off of him, and then the gun went off. And then with the gun going off, they shot him and killed him. People were like, oh my God, that's so bad. They need to go to jail. Like he didn't even shoot the gun. That's irrelevant. What would a reasonable person think at the time? You're trying to take somebody down. You hear a gun. Then you hear a gun go off. Yeah, they're going to shoot him, even though it was an accidental discharge because the people that shot him had a reasonable belief that it might have been the perpetrator that shot the gun because he was reaching like this the whole time. The guys that shot him, people forget this shit. When he got shot, Alex Petty, he got shot from his left side, right? His gun was on his right-hand side. So the cops that were above him over here on the left-hand side, all they saw was this, right? Now, again, they can't see. They know that he's right-handed, and they see that, and they heard gun. So when they saw him doing this, even though the gun was off his person, and they heard the gunshot, they shot him. And that obviously, it's a rapidly evolving event or whatever. That's why they were cleared.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I hope that makes sense. But
No, it is. It makes sense. Last thing I want to get at you, or not get at you, but present to you.
Whatever you want to talk about, bro. It's been a minute, so we got a lot to catch up on, man.
No. Like I have to. We got to double back to this. They want me to watch a couple of Stefon Diggs things, so I might have to call you a little bit later. But I want to ask you about one more thing.
Yeah, man.
Did you see Ruby Rose recently? She said, "I think it will be super beneficial to society if all the down low rappers and athletes came out. It's okay." And people say, how would that contribute to society? She said, well, a lot of men look up to and idolize them. So it would influence them to be open with their sexuality and not live a closeted life. Now, I want to add that on to, so when the whole like Meg Thee Stallion, Klay Thompson thing happened, I said, listen, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. This woman has never been seen in the ranks of like, since her career started as like, a viable candidate for a relationship. She's been seen as a bop. She's a late night ting. Her nickname is Double Cup, 2 cups of Henny. Everybody's hitting. Blueface caught some head after she got shot. The baby was fucking her. We had Tory Lanez. He fucked her and her friend. Like, this is like a chick who's like giving it up, right?
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I was like, hey, listen, I'm not too sure why people are so upset or even shocked that this guy won't put a ring on her finger. If anything, this kind of just shows that at the end of the day, some of these things that you guys act like, because they were saluting this guy just like Russell Wilson, like, oh no, not every guy cares about a body count. No, she could be a whore, but she could still get a guy. And when this kind of like came to fruition, they're like, oh no, it matters. So I guess my question to you, because what they said to me was, you and other people who are criticizing Meg, y'all are gay. You know, you're homosexual. You want to fuck Clay. You know, blah, blah, blah. What do you think about Ruby Rose and the others basically saying that if a guy is questioning how they're moving in certain type of ways, it's homosexual?
So, all right, this is going to probably piss your audience off, but I'm going to say it. This is what black bitches do, bro. Black women are the biggest offenders of this. Now, do other groups of girls do this shit too? Sure, they definitely do. But I've noticed the biggest offenders of women that call men gay.
Wait. I got to think. Chat, let's do a poll. We got to do a poll. You know, we got to keep it even here. White women call dudes gay too when they don't get their way, right? Is that a black girl thing?
It's 100% a black girl thing, and I'll tell you why.
So a white girl wouldn't necessarily call a guy gay if
She will if she's ghetto. If she's urbanized, yeah. If she's ghetto, yeah. Like the ghetto bitches do it. Like, and here's the thing: black girls that aren't ghetto, right, won't do that shit. But it's a ghetto girl thing, and it just so happens to be a lot of ghetto black chicks. Being honest here. So the reason why girls like Ruby Rose and them like that say, "Oh, all these dudes are gay" or whatever, it's two things. Number one, they're mad because they're whores and they got exposed for being whores. So their only fight back really is to challenge the guy and be like, "Oh, well, y'all niggas are all down low and gay." Now, here's the thing with women that I always kind of laugh at. Women only call you gay when they know you're not gay. And I was literally talking about this with India Love's whore ass yesterday, right? Because she was trying to say, "Oh yeah, all these like toxic masculine men, they're all gay, blah blah."
Yo, have you ever talked to India Love?
No, I never have. I never have. But she probably wouldn't want to talk to me because I'd say that she's a dumb thought too.
No. Yeah. We got to get another like debate going on. Me, you, and like India Love. Like, remember we did with Brittany Renner?
Sure. I'd be happy. I'd be happy to debate any of these thoughts. I mean, here's the thing.
Do you think you could go toe to toe with India Love intellectually?
She go with me intellectually, bro. This chick didn't even know what trajectory was, bro. She retarded. She was over here talking about like men being gay. But let me give you a perfect example of what I mean by this, because I was literally talking about this yesterday. So girls like Ruby Rose, India Love, etc., especially like these ratchet ass fucking like hip hop whores, they like to call men gay. But here's the reality: the only reason they call these dudes gay is because they know they're not gay, and they know by calling them gay, they're not going to face any real backlash. Because if you actually call a real gay guy gay, you're going to get canceled. You're going to get cooked. And there's a clip out where India Love was some other chick, and they went to a studio to get some studio time. This gay dude came in and said, "Yo, y'all got to pay an extra $150 because you guys are a minute late." And he was very flamboyant, very gay. You know, he was snapping at them and everything. She didn't say shit, right? She didn't say shit. She walked over to the thing, walked over to her car after, and she was like, "Oh, man." And she started talking shit after the fact. And she was like, "Yeah, oh my God, there's so much stuff I want to say." "Oh, well, why did you call him gay?" I know why you call him gay, because he's actually gay. They will never actually call a real gay guy gay because they know that there's consequence to that. So the only people that they call gay are men that are not gay because they know they can get away with it. It's like a common tactic that ghetto girls use all the time, especially girls in like the fucking, ghetto community. It's mostly black chicks, I'll be honest with you. It's mostly black chicks. Every time I get called gay, 9 out of 10 times it's by a fucking black bitch. "Well, you're gay, nigga. I saw you in a bell with some white niggas." No. Bro, I've explained that a million times. White niggas do gay shit. They fucking break. I was on a rowing team. I was a Division I athlete back in the day. Niggas broke into the hotel room and woke my ass up. Early morning practice, because I would never wake up. And that's when the picture was taken. But obviously, context doesn't matter for these hoes. Everything is gay to them. And the only reason they feel comfortable calling you gay in the first place is because they know that you're not. Because if you were actually gay, they'll get canceled. So anytime these chicks say, "You're gay," I'm like, "All right, bitch. Like, that's a cop-out. You're a whore. You're coming up with a lie because you're mad that you got exposed for being a whore. So you're making up a nonsense, like, argument or a nonsense pejorative insult. Because when it really rubber meets the road, like that clip, I don't send it to you, Ax. You know what I'm talking about. When the road meets the road and they meet a real gay person, they don't say shit. They shut the fuck up. Also, gay niggas will slap them. That's another thing. Real gay niggas don't give women this, they give them the equality that they wanted. Like, they'll be like, "What'd you say, bitch?" Bong. And they'll slap them and cancel them after the fact.
A gay dude will fight a girl and nobody says nothing. It's crazy.
Yep. And they'll fuck them up too. So it's like, that's why bitches shut up when they talk to real gay niggas, bro. They don't say shit.
Would you have Ruby Rose on your show or no?
Sure, but she would never come on. She said that she threatened me one time that she would like get me clapped or whatever, or killed.
Really?
She would never come on. But hey, if she wants to talk, we can. But yeah, she's cooked, bro. I mean, like these OF girls, like, I'd be happy to talk to any of them. Like, I would just tell them, like, yo, you're used goods. Like, just get a regular guy, be happy with him, and you don't deserve a higher status nigga, bro. I'm sorry. Like,
makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Myron.
It's always good chatting with you.
Yeah, I'm about to go watch this Stefon Diggs BS, and watch this fucking chef who supposedly is going to go from saying that she doesn't care about money, but saying that she was thinking about the $100,000 he offered, and her team came back with wanted $5 million. Crazy.
Yeah. And I'll say this real quick before I go, just with the whole self-defense thing and the shootings. Like, it's really tough, man, to deal with, like, use of force and, a deadly force or whatever. Like, every case is super contingent upon all the intimate facts that are in there. So it's very hard to predict, what case will be, justified use of force versus another one, because all these different factors are super important when it comes to the use of force.
All right.
So that's what I would say is like my final answer on that one. It really depends, bro. And I wish I could give you a more concrete answer, but use of force is so complex based on the scenarios that were happening during that situation and the individual that utilizes the use of force, what they knew at the time.
100%. Myron, thank you. I'll be in Miami soon, hopefully, and we'll get some shows in live. But thank you always for calling in, and I like our back and forth. And I think people like it too.
No, they enjoyed it, bro.
Of course,
I see that the viewership went up on your side. The chat is engaged. I know some of them are pissed off at me and they hate me or whatever. But hey, man, chat niggas, hey, you gotta accept it, bro. At least I keep it real. I'm an open racist. Accept it.
Hey, listen. What I do think they like the combativeness.
Sure.
So I think they'd be capping. Myron, thank you so much, man. Listen,
it's always great.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to tap in with you to figure out what's going on. Because, by the way, chat, maybe tomorrow we got to do like a geopolitical what's going on in the world shit.
Sure.
We probably gonna
cover Push Icy too. I didn't get a chance to cover Push Icy with you. That shit is crazy, bro.
Well, I think so. Wait, how much have you like?
Bro, I'm chilling on stream. You could do your Stefon Diggs. I'm going to be on for a bit, so just you can hit me after.
Okay. But how much?
Your people hit me up after? I'm here.
Okay, I will. But how much do you know about the case so far?
Pretty well deep in it. Yeah, I read the documents, everything.
And we'll leave this as a teaser. But I did say this on Vlad. I think 45-50% he beats it. What do you think in terms of odds right now?
I'm not going to say that high. I will say that there's some holes in the Fed case. At least we're
going to trial, and it's only a bunch of the eyewitnesses are Gucci Man and another decorated criminal and one white guy cameraman who you could probably pay off. I'll take my chances.
Yeah, you could, but remember he's the victim, bro. So even though he's a criminal, like he's going to have a lot of credibility because he's the victim, and then also. It's not in his best interest to be a witness. So that actually gives him more credibility, even though he's a crook.
Hey, yo, you're locked in with Waking Up TV.
Yeah. We can chop it up about it more. We could really go deep. But no, do your Stefon thing, and then just text me, and if I'm still on stream, bro, we'll chop it up. If not, we can do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Chat, if you guys don't know, Myron Gaines, he's always streaming. By the way, I one thing I don't think people give you credit for, this is one of the most canceled people online. He works harder than everybody else. Listen, chat, I said about the hip hop list, they gave me the number one as the best media personality. And I said,
and congratulations for that, by the way, bro.
No,
congratulations
for
that.
And you know what I said?
I've been saying it for years. I've been saying, you're number one for a minute. It's not just, I am biased because you're my friend. Yeah. But I've been saying it for a minute. Fuck everybody else. Academic is number one. Academic is 100% number one.
But here's the thing, I feel like I could pop my shit to them like, hey, nobody should even be mad. I work harder than all you anyway. You're one of the people where, I'll be like, I'm like, this motherfucker's always live. You? How many hours did you stream last month? Do you know?
Just Myron Gaines X, like 156.
No. I'm talking about all around because you're running like 5 different situations.
Yeah, probably around like 200 or something like that.
Damn.
Around 200 last month. With between this and Fresh and Fit, yeah. So,
hey, for no matter what they say about you, when you outwork those fuckers, they can't say shit, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Thank
All
you
right.
very much, man.
Well,
let me know. Hit me up on the other stuff. I think the Push Icy conversation will be fucking fantastic.
Well, I'm glad you're versed on it because I think we could have a really good debate. I said it on Vlad.
Dirk too, bro. That's another one we got to keep up. We got to talk about, and also the David one too. I've been keeping up with all that shit. So we can chop it up with all of them. Yeah.
There's a lot to discuss on both of those, and
crazy.
The Dirk thing is, we got to figure out who's cooperating. There's this guy who just got out. He's like, yo, here's my address. You guys got a problem? Come kill me. And I'm like, it's no way he's a cooperator. Like, no way.
Yeah.
Like, he got to be trolling. Like, right?
No, they got more. And then also keep in mind, bro, they got a lot of like strong evidence that stands on its own with like the credit cards, the people being there, the hotel reservations, all that shit, man. And that's why the trial, I know he's going to go to trial. That trial is going to be crazy. We need to go.
Okay. Last thing, again, we got to talk about all these things. These are probably hour-long conversations.
I'm up on all these cases, bro. So, like, let me know. We'll do
David, what's your percentage on he could possibly beat this, or you're, like, cooked?
I'd say, like, 90% chance he's cooked, bro.
Why?
It's very bad. Some of the most incriminating evidence, bro, the finger being cut off, that ties him, like, because you can make the argument, yo, maybe he didn't kill her, bro. Maybe he didn't kill her. Bro, the fact that her finger was cut off to conceal the tattoo, the matching tattoo, that's pretty profound. The footage, right? Obviously, the fact that she was in his Tesla, registered in his name. The fact that she was a minor and that he had because that's why they're gonna get him on murder one. By the way, the motive is huge for murder one, because like for people that don't know, murder two and murder one, typically the thing that like separates the two is premeditation. Premeditation is like the main dividing factor when it comes to, capital murder, first degree versus second degree. And in his case, he had a lot to lose. That's why they're saying financial gain, even though it's more about financial preservation, because her being a minor, potentially being pregnant, obviously the vicious way that how he got rid of the body, lack of regard, her being a minor, all that stuff, like, and then the fact that like he had his album coming out 2 or 3 days after the murder, like that sets the motive like perfectly. And then the thing that really fucks him up, like I think that like is almost like the fingerprint almost, is the fact that they took care to remove that tattoo, because that's what ties him.
And let me ask you a question again. We're gonna just leave this as a cliffhanger in
Sure.
full totality, but you're a law enforcement agent. You know how dumb criminals get caught. I felt there was a moment that he probably thought he was outsmarting the average bear. Where do you think he went wrong, or if he was trying to like remain out of the winds, what did he do wrong here? Let's not spell it fully out, but give me 2 things you're like, dude, you fucked up. Where?
Yeah. So number one, having all the CP on his phone, like all the like evidence of him being in a romantic relationship with her, that because like people keep in mind, even if they don't get him on murder, and I want everybody to know this, even if they don't get him on murder, he's cooked on possession of child pornography and a relationship with a minor, right? Like the feds can come in and take over the CP stuff if the murder case fails. So that they got him already. The CP stuff is cooked, right? That's just the foundation for the murder case, is because he would get caught with the CP, which is why he had to get rid of her. And then arrogance, bro, just straight arrogance. Like it's very obvious that this guy was very cocky. He thought he couldn't be touched. Which, me and you've been around famous people. We know how they move, how they think, and how they behave. So just wild arrogance. And I could go into more detail when we have our conversation about like some of the things that the mistake, like the clear telltale signs for me, like this dude was just being arrogant. But yeah.
Yeah, you went from getting 2 chainsaws, trying to like really conceal the body, cutting off the finger. And I don't know why he didn't like postpone his tour. Like he puts the great idea was to put her body in the front of the Tesla in like a cadaver bag and like some trash bags, and then just park it 3 streets over. That seems weird.
Yeah, that's like foolish. And look, and because some people might say, because his defense is going to say more than likely he didn't kill her. My thing, and I think again this is a slept on piece of evidence that people haven't kind of picked up on. The thing that ties him to the body the highest in my like just me just putting on my law enforcement hat, the fact that he took the extra step of removing the matching tattoo. That is very important. And not a lot of people are paying attention to that because his defense is going to try to say, their argument is going to be, he didn't kill her. That's what their defense is going to say. He didn't kill her. Yeah, maybe they had a romantic relationship. Maybe she was a minor. Fine. My client didn't kill her, and you guys can't prove that. That's what his defense is probably going to come in with the angle, I presume.
Interesting. Myron, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, it's always great talking with you, bro. We'll chat it up about the other stuff. Let me know. I'll probably be on stream late, so if you're still on and you want to yap about the other stuff, the criminal stuff, let me know.
All right. Got you, brother.
All right, bro. Peace.
Peace.
Later.